Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. We're going to be in Dungeon Crawl Classics for this video. We are continuing the Spell Duel video series. We're going to go over the example of a spell duel in this video today. So, example of spell dueling. The combat consists of the Emerald Sorcerer, his 2 Emerald Soldiers, his nemesis Magnus the Grey, and Magnus's apprentice Atli the Astounding. Initiative rolls are as follows. 17 is Emerald the Sorcerer. 15, the 2 Emerald Soldiers. 12, Magnus the Grey, and a 6, Atli the Astounding. Round 1. The Emerald Sorcerer casts Magic Missile. Magnus immediately declares a counterspell of Magic Shield. Atli the Astounding declares to counterspell. Even though the Emerald Soldiers are next in initiative order, the spell duel is resolved first. Both players lay a d20 momentum tracker in front of them, showing the starting figure of 10. The Emerald Sorcerer rolls a 13 on his spell check, while Magnus rolls a 16. Both checks succeed. The defender's roll is high. Therefore, Magnus the Grey's momentum tracker is incremented to 11. Comparing the spell check results of 16 and 13 on table 4-5 spell duel check comparison, we get a roll of a d5. So it was 13 by 16. Yep. The difference in momentum tracker is 1, 11 on one die and 10 on the other. So the defender rolls a d5 plus 1 on table 4-6 counterspell. The result of a 3 shows that Magnus's magic shield fails, but he reduces the magic missile check by a d8. Magnus rolls 4 on the d8, and so the Emerald Sorcerer's spell check of 13 becomes a 9. That is below the minimum threshold of a 12 for a success, so both spells fail. Even though both spells failed to take effect, both casters were able to summon sufficient energy to initiate their spells. Therefore, neither loses the ability to cast their spells. Once the spell duel is resolved, the combat round proceeds. The Emerald Soldiers attack Magnus, and the normal attack process is resolved. At Magnus' initiative count, he can take no action because he's already counterspelled. Atli the Astounding did not counterspell, so he moves and casts Magic Missile against the Emerald Sorcerer. The Emerald Sorcerer could not counterspell anyway because he is the first in initiative order, and because he already used his action. Atli rolls a 15, succeeds in his check, and damages the Emerald Sorcerer with the spell check. Round 2. The second round, the Emerald Sorcerer launches another Magic Missile. In this round, both Magnus the Grey and Atli the Astounding choose to counterspell. Magnus casts Magic Shield again, while Atli casts Magic Missile. The Emerald Sorcerer rolls an 18 on his spell check. Magnus rolls 19, and Atli rolls 14. A d20 momentum tracker set at 10 is now placed in front of Atli, since he has now entered the spell duel. The Emerald Sorcerer lost his comparison to Magnus, so Magnus' existing 11 is incremented to 12, and the Emerald Sorcerer won his comparison to Atli, so his 10 is now incremented to 11. Comparing the Emerald Sorcerer's 18 and Magnus's 19 spell checks, on the table 4-5 spell duel check comparison, we get a roll of a d3. The difference in momentum tracker is 1, so the Magnus rolls d3 plus 1 on the defender high column table, 4-6 counterspell power. Simultaneously, comparing the Emerald Sorcerer's 18 and Atli's 14 spell check, we get a roll of a d5. The difference in momentum tracker is 1, where the Emerald Sorcerer has an 11 and Atli's has a 10. So the Emerald Sorcerer rolls a d5 plus 1 on the attacker high column in the counterspell table. And now our example ends, but you get the drift of it. At this point, you can see how there can be multiple defending and attacking spells interacting with each other. I would like to run it where it's just one and another sorcerer in the beginning, and do that a few times to get comfortable with it, especially as a player, and then do it where you now have that extra complication of the extra PCs or NPCs in the duel, because that does complicate the duel a lot, in my opinion. Let me know what you all think about the example of a spell duel that they give. Was that clear enough for you? Do we need to go in and do an example ourselves as well? If so, let me know. Until we all game again, guys.